12 million people.
Yeah.
12,000. 70-some thousand.
Right.
So it couldn't have been hard to find someone to do that.
Yeah. It wouldn't be hard to find it, but it was very well done entrance, and I loved it. So yeah, let's go back to the match itself. I think it was very well done. John Cena did a perfect dropkick. John Cena actually did a tornado DDT also, and the little top rope thing. So he actually did a lot of moves for Cena. I think it was very well done. I don't think it was as good as the Triple H Daniel Bryan one, and I didn't like the fact that Cena ended up winning. It was a pretty cool finish though. I'll give it that.
I love the fact that Cena ended up winning. We were supposed to have our prediction video, which we ended up not having, but I was gonna predict Cena in the match just because of the way it was hyped up. It wasn't hyped up at all that Bray was gonna win.
Yeah, I was gonna predict Cena myself, but I was hoping for Bray. Like they do this every time where they build up the bad guy and they think that they're gonna give John Cena's gonna give that push, but he never does.
It's not the fact that you go.
Oh no! I was just gonna say, the only reason I thought that Bray might have gotten over tonight was because that he did win cleanly against D-Bry at Royal Rumble. So I thought that, okay, if he's going to beat D-Bry, he might have a chance of beting Cena. But
no,
the further along that I saw it going, I was like, they're not going to let Cena ruin his, quote-unquote.
I think that I did like how they kind of made you think it could go either way. And Cena was, I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe he was the first guy to kick out of the Sister Abigail. I think he was. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't remember anybody else kicking out of it.
Twice, actually.
Yeah. It was brutal. I think it was very well done for Cena. I don't know if it was as good as Cena and D-Bry. Actually, I'm gonna say it was as good as Cena and D-Bry. I won't say it's better, but I'll say it's as good. I liked it.
Overall, I think it was a good match. I just most people disagree with me on this, but I don't think Bray Wyatt deserves the win yet. I don't think Fandango, if you go by how he called himself, I don't think he should have beat Jericho last year at Mania. Especially it being his first match,
Well, I think that if Fandango didn't have the concussion, I would say, yeah, he should have won, just for the fact of he would have been Intercontinental Champion and very big right now, but now he's to just, kind of getting thrown into Andre the Giant match and getting thrown over.
Maybe next year Bray beat Cena, but we all know that match isn't.
But it still did wonders for them both. It made both guys look good. It made Bray look good for the fact of he got in one of the main events against John Cena, being because when he premiered, I believe his first match was at SummerSlam against Kane in that Ring of Fire match.
Yep, that was his first match.
Yeah, and going a half a year later of how big of an impact his character had, it was ginormous. I loved how he went up that fast. He was well deserved. I think that I really hope that he should have won, and I think that he should have won, but Cena ended up prevailing, of course, but well done match. I'll give it an 8.5. Hayes, what do you give it?
I'm gonna give it a 8.
And Mike, what do you give it?
Mike.
Okay. Well, while he's going to do whatever, let's rate his entrance. I'm gonna give his entrance a fucking 10.
I'm gonna give it I'm gonna say 8, or not 8, 9, just because.
Well, actually, yeah. If we give Triple H's a 10 and that's the bar, I don't think it was as good as Triple H's. I'll give it a 9.5 because it was very well done, but it wasn't perfect. And
yeah, I'm not a big fan of the dark entrances. I do believe you have to have a little bit of light. Taker, his entrance is dark, but he has a little bit of light. Where Bray Wyatt only has a little. It's barely a flashlight.
Yeah. Okay, and Mike, what's your entrance score for Bray Wyatt, and what's your match score?
My entrance score for Bray is definitely an 8 or a 9. Might even be a 9. Because,
I gave it a 9.5, and I think Hayes gave it a 9.
Yeah, that whole spooky, ominous. It was a typical Bray Wyatt entrance, but they added the live music, which was awesome.
Yeah.
The match, I would give about an 8. It was good, but it could have been better.
Yeah.
Again, we deal with a John Cena no sell on the big move for Bray Wyatt, and I mean, it was.
I think that it was sold, but it just wasn't, like he didn't like went off of it.
Right.
But yeah, I gave it an 8.5. Wait,
actually, before we get to the next match, did anybody see how Bray Wyatt had trouble hitting? I think it was the second Sister Abigail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Cena broke out of that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he broke out. He had trouble getting Cena into it. Like, but what about that 5-knuckle shuffle when he went to hit the first one and then like he turns around Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, that moment was fucking epic. I forgot about that. That was epic.
I was gonna mention and then I just forgot about it. But that was scary as shit.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like I knew that when they were kind of zooming the camera on Cena, they were gonna do something, but that was like honestly the perfect thing.
Took like a step back, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
That itself was a WrestleMania moment. On this night they kept talking about WrestleMania moments. Every single match or segment so far has been a great WrestleMania moment. Like from that beginning Rock Stone Cold Hulk Hogan thing to Cesaro winning it, to Triple H's entrance, to the match itself, to Daniel Bryan winning it, to the Bray Wyatt entrance, to Cena winning it itself. Like,
was that 5-knuckle shuffles thing that Bray Wyatt did, was like that even planned? Because Cena looked legitimately shocked and scared that happened.
I think it was probably planned, but like Cena just sold the reaction very good.
I think it might have been planned to reverse it, and Cena didn't realize that was how it was going to be reversed.
Yeah, he just looked at you like, what? Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's fucking going to do a crab walk? It's like, what the...
I do believe that is only the second time Bray Wyatt has done that, like that.
No, I think he did it a few times. I think he did it once on a Raw or SmackDown. I know he did it during the Daniel Bryan match, I think. And I know he did it a few times. I just don't remember every other time.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think this was probably... I think the first time was the coolest just because, like, it was like, whoa, what the fuck? But I think this one was the next coolest, like, of just the way it was done. Just because
it was random as hell. Like, Bray Wyatt's, like, knocked out, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah.
See, I actually think this was bigger than the first time because of it's on the main stage. You're on WrestleMania. You're facing John Cena.
Yeah.
And the shock factor that went in.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. And John Cena's face, I will give Cena a lot of credit. I've never been the biggest Cena fan. I respect him, but he sold that like fucking crazy. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. Okay,
now,
so...
what about that flying crossbody before we get off?
Yes. The Bray Wyatt ones?
Yeah, when he was going to do not Bray Wyatt. When he was going to do the leg drop to Bray Wyatt, and then he jumped out of the ring on Luke Harper and Eric Rowan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was really good. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was definitely done well. It wasn't a bad match, but it was a good match. It was just...
could have been a little bit better, maybe. I think it was definitely well done for the time that they had.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get back to our scores just so that remind the viewers. Entrance I gave a 9.5 and the match I gave an 8.5. Hayes, what do you give the entrance and match?
I'm gonna give the entrance a 9 and the match an 8.7.
Ooh, fancy. And Mike, what do you give the match and entrance?
I'm gonna go entrance 9, match 8.5.
Okay, so we're all around there. Okay, now we're going to probably the most controversial match of the night. Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock Lesnar. Okay, but I think that I don't even know where to begin with this. Okay, first let's just talk about Taker's entrance. Now, I think this was one of the coolest entrances, but it didn't make like I don't know. It didn't make too much sense later. Like that. I don't know. I don't.
Well, I'm gonna go off topic, Phoenix. Hayes and I were talking during the whole match, and I agree with him 100%. If he's gonna wear that outfit, he needs the long hair. You know.
Yeah, he looked like a cross between.
Yeah. Well, I just. Okay, wait.
He looked like he stole Gambit's jacket off of X-Men. If you don't know what Gambit is. And he stole Crocodile Dundee's hat. That's what he looked like.
Yeah.
When you think of it, yeah, it kind of did. But we'll also talk about the outfit. We'll give the outfit, entrance, match, and the thing after. We'll kind of just, in case no one did see the match and you're just kind of looking at this as a review, we'll leave that to you. But
Right.
Yeah, but the entrance was really cool. It was basically like all the coffins of all the guys he defeated. It did show CM Punk's name if you guys didn't see that, but I'm pretty sure Chris Benoit's was definitely like not shown.
Right.
And yeah, of course, you can't really do that. But yeah, it showed all the victims. I thought it was very cool. And then like he started doing a slow walk, of course, one of the greatest entrances of all time. And then I liked how he pointed back at the coffin and it just opened up with flames. And I liked the little laser things that kind of went down, like when the way that he walked and the way that you just saw the WrestleMania 30 sign and like all the colors and like everything going in the fog. I think it just looked extremely epic. One of the best Taker entrances for sure, if not the best. But yeah.
Well, I think the fog from Chris, not the fog. I think like a casket with Chris Benoit's name on it would be too kind of disrespectful because he kind of is dead.
It would just be very, very, very tacky. Yeah. It would be very, yeah.
Like they probably didn't even have one there.
Probably not.
No, I think. Well, I know that they had the casket there. I don't think it just said. I don't think it said anything on it though.
Unknown fighter.
Yeah.
That's what it said.
Yeah. Dead guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say something about this match. I honestly don't think it was planned for Taker to lose. Just the way, like Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar acted like they knew they were gonna win.
I think that it was planned. I'm pretty sure it was planned. I don't think that it would unplanned because Taker has years of experience at kicking out at 2. People talk about Cena being the master at kicking out at 2. Look at Undertaker. Okay.
Well, no, it's not just kicking out at 2. Taker.
Dude, there's one guy that's the biggest kick out of 2, and it's Hulkamania brother. So.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. We'll have to have a podcast video of John Cena versus Hulk Hogan versus Taker.
Lord, yeah.
Well, if you think about it, though, Taker looked seriously hurt after that match. Like, it took him so long.
Well, I don't think that he was hurt. He was just looking up and like, how do I react to this? Like, how should I sell this Mania moment? Well, I think that he was just kind of thinking of his past career and like everything that it meant to him, and I think that was just very sad and sentimental. Now, I do think that it was planned because Taker's very well at kicking out at 2, and even the refs do know like the outcomes of the match and like when people kick out, so they know not to do it. So of course, the ref wouldn't count 3. Like if he would count 3, like he would just kind of stall for a second, and he would be like, "Oh, okay, I got to do this."
I actually have to disagree with you, Phoenix. There was a match with Mick Foley, before he retired, 10 years ago. And he was in the match. And it was against The Rock, I believe. 2001, 2000, something like that. It's way, even probably back in 10 years ago. But Mick Foley was supposed to win the match. And he got hurt so bad he had to get 22... I think it was either staples or stitches in his head or something, and he's like, I can't continue. And he told the ref, he's like, I'm going to give, and nobody expected it. Even The Rock was even, not even in on it. He was like, oh, all right, and...
Well,
I think he might have legitimately been hurt. I really do think he might have, legit, something went wrong.
Yeah, I think maybe something went wrong, but I definitely think that this was planned, because they had right after they won, they zoomed in on, the fans' reactions, because, they were expecting them to react, and they had that thing, that 21-1 thing, ready right when he got that 3 count.
Well, no, it wasn't, it was, a few minutes after, after
I wouldn't say minutes. I would say a few seconds. Like maybe about 15 or so seconds.
Because WWE is masters at making things look like they were supposed to happen. And, like, as soon as that pin hit 3 and they went to the reactions, like, because it took a minute before they actually reacted. And, like, those cameramen, they have mics in their ear that tell, like, where the people tell them. So Vince McMahon was probably on that mic, like, okay, zoom into the reactions. So they did that because it was, like, a minute afterwards. Like, it all seemed like it run together, but that's because everybody was in just disbelief. Like,
well, I don't think that. I don't know. I think that it was. I think that it definitely was planned. I mean, I don't think that they would screw up that bad for the streak to lose. I mean, I don't think that they would ever do that. Like, I don't think that they could screw up that bad. We'll talk about that maybe in a separate video or something like that. But let's just get to the match score and to the match review itself.
Right.
But let me say something. If it was planned. If it was planned, I believe that WWE did that only to stick it to Punk.
I don't think no. I don't think it was to stick it to Punk. I think that they are still good buddies with Punk, and they're still planning on having him back. They just because like the more that they aren't showing Punk, the more that Punk is talked about. It's the more that Punk's talked about, and it's the more that when his return, it's gonna be that much more pop and that much more people going fucking apeshit over it. So I don't think that it was. I don't think it was a stab at Punk. And 2, I think that they wanted it for shock factor because, like most matches of the night were unpredictable, but everyone was predicting that Taker's obviously gonna win this match. Boom! Brock Lesnar wins. Most shocking WrestleMania moment I can think of. I mean, I can't think of a more shocking moment.
I only have one argument to that whole thing though, Phoenix, is there's a guy that's gonna be showing up on Raw tomorrow night, and I'll bet my bottom ass is gonna be there. And if he's there, which I'll bet $1,000 that he will be there, and that's the Icon Sting.
Well, yeah.
Why would you have Taker go into a match with Sting 21-1?
Well, I don't think that he's gonna do that match because plans get one plan.
The only person Sting's already said the only guy he will wrestle is the Undertaker.
I know, but one. Plans change, maybe something happens, maybe he's Taker's I don't have another one in me, maybe Sting's oh no, I don't want to do this, maybe plans change. Of course, they're not going to have Taker wrestle another match, they're not going to have that happen, they're not going to have a 21-1 match, there's 0 point of Taker having another WrestleMania match.
But now that Sting is signed, let's say he is signed, and I'm going to, like I already told you, I'll bet money that he is.
Who's he face now?
Exactly.
And that's what...
I don't think Cena's gonna face. Well, not Cena. Sting. I don't think Sting would face anybody but Taker. To be honest, I don't see it happening. But what's the point of Taker going in another WrestleMania match? There's 0 point now that his streak's ended.
That's what I mean.
I think that it was supposed to happen, and I think that maybe plans just changed. They were maybe Sting was no, I don't want to, or maybe Taker was no, I don't want to. I want this to be my last match. I want WrestleMania 30, Grand Stadium Ball to have that much bigger factor, or maybe it was just all fucking bogus and somebody made it up.
Look, okay, I don't know if you guys know this, but Brock Lesnar isn't a very good actor, right?
Right.
So, okay, how did he just magically become the greatest actor ever and act so surprised how he was about beating Taker? He was, if you looked at his face, he was what the fuck just happened kind of thing on his face.
I think that, one, they would have to practice that a lot, because, Taker did say that he doesn't want the streak to be bigger than the WWE himself. 2, he said that he doesn't have that much manias left in him, and this was at an interview maybe a couple years back that I was reading on, but, he doesn't want the streak to be bigger than WWE itself, so he wanted it to end eventually.
He brought in Sting for one reason, though. That's my only point. That's why I think...
I don't think that Sting is going to be showing up for the fact, I don't know. I don't think that Sting's going to be showing up. I think plans just changed and shit happened. I don't think that Sting's going to show up. I think that Sting was going to show up with Taker winning, but now that Taker lost, I'm thinking, shit hit the fan. Something happened. It's not going to be happening.
Well, there's pictures leaked of Sting at an airport heading
Sting was at WrestleCon. He came for WrestleCon. It wasn't just WrestleMania. He was just at wrestling con.
Yeah, but there's also rumors that they gave him $2 million to do one more match.
Well, rumors, and
right.
you got to keep that in mind. As Hayes quoted one time from a very important Minecraft loading screen, always assume rumors are true or false.
No.
Always assume rumors are false, not true.
Yeah,
that's what I do. I always assume that they're false. Like, I remember a while back you told me that John Cena's going to join the Wyatt family. I just always assume that it's false because I don't like to think that until it is confirmed or it happens itself.
Well, I also said that Daniel Bryan was going to join the Wyatts, and he did, albeit for two Raws. But
I think it was just only 1 week.
Yeah, well, I mean,
he turned on like.
No, he was a part of the Wyatt family for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then it didn't turn out well, so he turned on him.
It was one Raw where he teamed with Luke Harper, I think it was, and then next week he teamed with Bray Wyatt and broke up with him.
Yeah.
But anyways, off topic. I give the match between Taker and Brock Lesnar, given that Brock Lesnar was supposed to win. That's just my opinion. I'm going to believe that till the day I die, that Brock Lesnar was not supposed to win, just because of the surprise factor on everybody. I'm going to give the match a 5. Because it was boring and dull.
I thought it would have been like it was a good match. When you look at everything that happened, it was just a dull crowd, which lowered the match itself.
You really think it was a good match, though? I don't really think it was a good match. I think it was. It had its. All right.
It didn't feel like its a Mania match.
Where it was okay, and then there was moments where it's just like. It felt to me like a Raw main event match.
Yeah, like I'm like, okay, if they keep the pace like this,
I think that it would have been like
it'll be a great match.
It didn't feel like Mania, but it felt like a pay-per-view quality match in my mind. It felt like a pay-per-view quality high-end match, but it didn't feel like maybe a Mania worthy Taker match.
Yeah,
but then again, Taker's old and it's against Brock Lesnar, so I mean, like, there's not too much that they can do. I would give the match itself a 6.5 or maybe a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 just for the fact of shock factor. No one saw this coming. I do think that this was supposed to be planned. I mean, WWE can't fuck up that bad. I mean, they've been planning this and practicing for weeks, like months and months on end. This is WrestleMania 30. They can't screw up this bad.
Accidents do happen.
Accidents do happen, but at WrestleMania 30 with 2 very experienced wrestlers, I mean, like they probably practice this. I mean, like, mistakes do happen, but I don't think that this wasn't a mistake.
There's a difference between practicing moves and actually doing the moves. And Brock Lesnar and Undertaker are 2 separate
people. Because if you notice when Brock
Lesnar
Lesnar was pinning Undertaker, because you could tell when somebody's out, they're out, and they're just blank out. But when Undertaker was being pinned, his eyes were open the entire time. So, like...
Yeah, that's why I say he was hurt.
No, because if he was hurt, he would have just been actually out, and he would have just been completely out of it. Because, like, his eyes were open, and you could tell that he's there.
Say he had like a cracked rib. I mean, you can't say that.
Well, if he had a cracked rib, like, he could still kick out. I mean, like, he was still walking out fine. I mean, like, he didn't, like, hold his ribs or anything like that.
He didn't walk out fine, dude. It took him, like, 10 minutes to stand up.
Well, because he was crying. If you didn't notice, he doesn't want to cry because he's shown as the dead man.
Yeah, he was crying, but you gotta look at his face. Like, that was legitimate pain on his face.
Well, yeah, I know. You're going against Brock Lesnar, a guy who doesn't throw easy punches, a guy who doesn't throw easy stuff. I do think that this...
Yeah.
I do think that this was planned. I mean, I don't think that they could screw up that bad at WrestleMania.
Well, it's not screwing up. It's like accidents. Accidents happen whether it's at WrestleMania.
Well, when I say screwing up, I mean accidents. Keep in mind that.
Like, okay, accidents might not happen. Accidents happen to the best of people. Like, look, Triple H tore his quad just running. So like accidents.
But
it's just WrestleMania.
But think of another time like a WrestleMania match has never done this before. Like as far as I know.
That don't mean it can't happen.
Yeah, but with 2 very experienced people, I don't think that can happen. I don't know. Fans, comment of what the fuck you think about this.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna give the entrance a 9. The match.
Brock Lesnar. entrance was very dull. So
well, we're giving the Taker entrance only, because
okay.
he had a special
Taker's
entrance.
I'm gonna give Taker's entrance a 10 because his entrance
Yeah.
was way better than Triple H's.
Yeah. I'm giving Taker's.
Dundee.
I'm giving Taker's entrance a 10. I'm giving the match itself. I would give it a 6, but because of all the shock factor and just to see the shock reactions of everybody online, I'm going to give that extra stuff just a 7. And for the sentimental value of this is Taker's last match, and to see him walk away, I mean, like, that's a WrestleMania moment I will never forget.
Right.
So I'm going to just give it overall a 7. And yeah.
I'm gonna give the match overall a 5 just because it was boring and dull. But sentimentally wise, like.
Well, yeah, you gotta enter the sentimental value to the match.
This is the first time I was actually rooting for Taker himself. Like the last 6 years, I wanted Edge, then Shawn Michaels the 2 years, and then Triple H the 2 years, and then.
I went for Undertaker for the Triple H's. I went for Punk during the Punk Taker match though.
But I will admit, Mania will not be the same without the streak.
Well, yeah. It won't be the same, but it wasn't supposed to be the same.
I did too, dude. I grew up watching Taker. I was.
Yeah, everyone grew up watching Taker, you know.
So.
Everyone grew up watching Taker. It was just the fact that you watched so much earlier.
Who's Taker gonna face this year at WrestleMania?
Yeah. Well, like the past few years, people were like, I don't know. I think it still should have ended at 20-0, but then no, he has to come back and face Punk.
Yes.
I really don't think that he should have faced Punk. I don't think that he should have faced Lesnar. I think that actually, to be honest, I think that if the streak was to end, it should have ended in the end of an era match, but
it should have ended the fucking HBK. I'm sorry.
It should have ended. There's so much time because I actually think that it should have ended in that Edge one too, because I think Edge was actually on a roll, to be honest. I think he was like, what was he? Was he like? I think it was like 8-0 or 9-0. Or I think he had a pretty damn solid WrestleMania record up until that point.
Right.
But yeah,
I think they should have built up another superstar as they was building up Taker, and have them both clash at WrestleMania 30.
Miz versus Taker.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
Well, I think that they built up Edge for a while. I swear he had a solid fucking high end WrestleMania record.
That's why I said to you, Phoenix and Hayes. Did I not say this about an hour and a half ago? Would it not have been perfect? And I know we're not Cena fans. I know we're not.
Yeah. If the streak ended to Cena, I think.
Streak. If Cena would have beaten him, I would have been okay with it because
a lot of people are gonna
night out.
Yeah, because honestly, I would rather have Cena and the streak than let's say Daniel Bryan, because Cena's been in the company for so long and he was known as the top guy, and for him to end the streak, I would be more fine with Daniel Bryan winning it for the fact that he hasn't been in it as long and he didn't have as much as a legacy or cement himself as much.
Yeah. Well, honestly, right. I'd rather have Heath Slater or Zack Ryder beat the streak over Brock Lesnar. But I think
I don't think that, because Brock Lesnar actually legitimately Brock Lesnar and Undertaker legitimately hate each other. So I would rather have Brock Lesnar maybe than them. But imagine if fucking Heath Slater beat the streak. That would honestly anger so much people. I would be so angered. I would write hate mail for days. I definitely don't think that he would be a good pick.
I've seen a lot of things online already. If you've looked online a lot already, the whole Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker thing, it's
blowing up. All my friends who don't watch wrestling, who used to, they're all messaging me oh my god, Taker streak's over.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not even mad that the streak's broken, because all streaks are disappointed.
Yeah, because I know that they've been building it up this way, and they kept saying that the streaks always ends, and nobody actually thought that was going to happen, but they kept building it up this way, which is another reason why I don't think why it was planned, why I think it was planned, because they kept on saying can the streak be broken? No, and then that little promo video that Paul Heyman mostly did, and
but it should have been against someone who's a.
Yeah. It should have been against somebody else, but all streaks.
I'll say right now, it should have been John Cena.
Yeah, but
I mean,
as they were
Brian,
saying, because like I think that they mostly did this for shock factor. Like I like honestly, because this has been probably because they always were talking about WrestleMania moments tonight. This was probably the most shocking WrestleMania moment ever. Like try and think of a more shocking WrestleMania moment at any
Well, that's just
WrestleMania.
because for 21 years we've seen
Yeah.
Undertaker
We've seen it.
win.
We've seen Undertaker winning,
yeah,
and he goes against a guy
yeah.
who we don't think that's going to win. That they build up as he could win, but we don't actually think he's going to win. Then he actually wins, and just like that shock factor like was done like really well. I find I don't think that the streak should have ended to Brock Lesnar, but I mean with the
See,
route that they were going for, they did
the
it
only reason
well.
I knock, don't like I said, the only reason I knock Brock Lesnar, I'm not trying to cut you off, is that since Brock's comeback, okay, he's beaten Triple H twice, but he's lost to Cena. He had a match against CM Punk where he should have lost, but Paul intervened, and Brock has not looked in, like the Superman or Cena's Super Cena,
Yeah.
and it should have been career versus streak, in my opinion, only because you have the face of the company for the last 12 years, the guy that has sold the most merchandise, has been the face of the company for
Well,
12
well,
years.
well. How much career like ending fucking Cena matches have we seen within the past few years? Like, think of
Well,
it. Think of it. Like there was
well,
one. There was one in the
well,
Nexus. There was one. Like there's probably been at least like 4 or 5 within the past 10 years alone, maybe.
well, but either I've seen Cena break it or Brock break it.
I would rather
And
see Cena break it, but I don't think that they should have went the career versus streak angle because it would have been too
well,
obvious then. Because
okay,
like even
but
if Cena would lose, they're not gonna make his career end. I'm just tired of that old gimmick being used. It should have been used like maybe if they didn't fuck that up with all the other Cena careers ending matches, then they should have went that route. But should have just been Cena versus Taker. Yeah, like I can take you down. I've been like in charge of this business, but having a much larger build up, like maybe not a year in the making or anything like that, but maybe like 2-3 months, and not just like a
right,
month. But yeah,
I don't know.
right.
I've already told you guys. I think Taker was planned to win the match, and during that match,
I
even though they're
don't
all
think so.
professionals, like WWE will even tell you when they say do not try this at home, they're all professionals, but they all do get hurt, and it was just a coincidence that it happened at WrestleMania and he got hurt and it wasn't planned.
Well, I
That
think
he
Taker gets hurt at
Did
every
Brock have
WrestleMania, but he always finishes it right. Like he
well,
always finishes
you
it
don't
and
you
wins.
don't
But
know the
I
extent
don't.
to the
I think that he was
injury.
planned to lose because like in all these promo videos they've been building it as like can the streak be broken? No, but then here's Brock Lesnar. But we never really paid attention to them. We just thought of like little pump up things for Taker to end up beating him. But
well,
it never actually happened. They kept on saying all streaks must be made to be broken. Well, they are. Like looking back at those videos make me
yeah,
think
but
and cement the way this match was done, and this match is like that's how it was supposed to be done.
yeah, but who's going to carry on now? I mean, who's going to carry on the whole fucking streak? Nobody's going to, I mean, like, Cena could have carried on the fucking streak. Brock can't carry it on. He's not a.
Okay, well,
Well,
listen,
yeah, I know,
the
but
only
like
reason
I'm
I
just
agree.
I was just going on with the fact that I don't think that I think that this was planned. Like I think
Okay, well,
that Cena should have ended the streak. I think Cena would have been like the perfect guy other than Shawn
another
or
reason
Edge
that
or
I
something
think
like
it
that.
wasn't planned was look at the beating that Triple H put on him 2 years in a row, and he still kicked out. And
Yes.
and Brock Lesnar put him in one Kimura lock and 2 F5s, and okay, he just suddenly is knocked out.
Well. Another thing, as I go back to the promo videos, they kept on saying Undertaker keeps getting worn down, and it takes less and less. Because if you notice that, at WrestleMania 27, he gave him a huge beating. WrestleMania 28, it wasn't as bad as a beating, but Undertaker was almost as hurt. Then he goes against CM Punk in maybe 12 or 15 minute match time, and it wasn't even like it was a good match, but it wasn't too big of a beatdown compared to like the Triple H ones and stuff like that. But Undertaker was still worn the fuck out. But so it basically the way that the promo videos have been going, they're like, yeah, it takes less and less for Taker to basically get hurt, and
Well,
yeah.
I don't know about Mike, but I think the streak was supposed to carry on and something went terribly wrong, and you think it was planned, and
I don't want it to be planned. Like I don't really want that like the streak to be planned. I want to think of it as a mistake, but thinking of all the facts here, I see it as being planned.
Like none of us really actually know. We're all just kind of babbling out our asses.
Right.
So
yeah, no one knows for sure except for the guys who actually plan the match and everything like that.
We just have to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
It's just to me it's just like if he was gonna lose, it's just not the guy that I would have chose. I mean, but that's not my choice. I don't run the company.
But then again, Undertaker has a huge say of of what he did. Right. And I guess because like him and Brock Lesnar were like enemies or something that he would have thought it would have been good.
Retirement. Like all he has to do is say, I'll retire.
Yeah, but he never wanted the streak to be bigger than the WWE. But he never wanted the streak to be bigger than WWE, so he wanted it to be ended. He wanted it like the streak to be ended before he retires, but I'm assuming he wanted to retire. So he's just like, okay, give me one last good match with like let's say this guy, and then I'll be done. He'll end the streak, and we'll move on.
Anyways, let's talk about the next match. Cause we've been on this match.
Probably about half an hour. Wait. We got to give everything a score. So, entrance I give 10. Match, 10. I give 7. And his new outfit, I give 6.9 for the sexy factor.
I give a 3 because he looked like a cross between Gambit and Crocodile Dundee.
But that's the sexy factor.
I like Assassin's Creed Taker better.
Yeah, I did too. I like that one too.
I mean, I'm gonna give the entrance probably like a 9. The match,
I hope he was promoting Assassin's Creed 6 because that'd be badass playing as Undertaker running around,
running around and the Brotherhood of people are just like all druids.
Exactly. Yeah, just running around big booting people, getting people tombstone, hidden blade. Who needs hidden blades when you have the tombstone power drive?
Hidden choke slam. That's the new thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, choke slam.
Another thing before we actually do get on to the next match, I'm all over here getting all pissed because Brock Lesnar's just doing whatever the fuck he wants to Taker and Taker can't even get up. And I'm like, okay, where's the vintage 2K14 hidden finisher at? Why is this shit in the
Well, he did that a few times. He did the Hell's Gate a couple times. I remember when
as soon as I started thinking about it, he started doing it. I was like, okay, much better.
Yeah.
Now I feel okay with it being in the video game.
He did do it a lot before, but he didn't do it much recently.
Yeah, but you know what though? Even when he put the Hell's Gate on him, it wasn't the real he didn't get the full pressure. He didn't get the full. I mean, you could just tell that Taker was fucking spent. He was spent, But not to knock Taker at, he's gonna be 50 years old in January or February. What the hell was that?
No, he turned 49 in March. So he just turned 49 last month.
So, all right, but Brock's 34, 35. I'm not saying it's a big age difference, but it's a big
sizable
enough age difference there. One guy's walking around breathing heavy, just moving, and Brock, like I was talking to Hayes earlier, and we're gonna go on to the, Brock was breathing heavy, he was sweating 2 minutes into the match.
Nobody was in ring shape.
Well, Brock Lesnar, if you ever noticed, even against CM Punk, he was sweating probably about a few minutes into the match, and that match was probably one of the best matches of the year of 2013.
Yeah, I think he's just one of those guys that sweats a lot.
Yeah. It's like The Rock. Rock sweats 2-3 minutes into a match. It's just the fact that it's hot in there, and they just sweat easy. I don't think that he's out of in ring shape. I just think it's the fact that he sweats easy.
But anyways, we already gave our scores on the match, and the only reason I remember what the next match was just because I was so pissed at why they would do this to these divas.
Okay, if you guys don't know, Hayes hates AJ Lee. I don't know why. I'm a big fan of AJ Lee, like most people. And the next match, obviously, it's the Vicky Guerrero's 14 Diva Invitational Championship match, and AJ Lee ended up retaining. She ended up
She made Naomi tap out. She took Naomi's hand and tapped her out, kind of like a
no. She tapped out with both hands. She tapped out with both hands. She gave her a Black Widow, and she tapped out with both hands. Maybe she made one of the hands tap, but she ended up tapping out with both hands. I remember that. She used both hands. This sounds very dirty, but she used both hands.
You saw what you want to saw. See.
No, I saw what I saw. You saw what you wanted to see. You wanted to see AJ Lee forced to make her tap so that AJ Lee would screw screw everybody. So like you want to see that. No one here wants to see that. In reality, Naomi tapped. In reality, that's how it happens.
You can watch it back.
And that is reality, as she would say in her fucking pipe bomb.
After you watch it back on our next podcast, I want you to apologize to me.
No. When you watch it back, I want you to apologize. Apologize, Hayes. I want you to apologize.
Okay, oh, Lord. Are you dating him too? Okay, while we're here on the AJ subject, I'll tell everybody why I hate her. I hate her because nobody noticed her and called her the best
I
diva.
noticed her.
Nobody
I called her the best diva.
In the WWE today until they found out she was dating CM Punk. And then,
no, she only started dating CM Punk like a couple months ago, I think, and people were behind her like crazy when she became WWE Divas Champion. I almost just called her WWE World Heavyweight Champion for a second. I was gonna slip my wrists, but yeah.
Easy.
She started dating CM Punk around SummerSlam.
No, well, it was speculated that she dated CM Punk around SummerSlam, but then nothing was really found out until like 2 months ago.
And then everybody's like, she cuts these awesome promos. Well, you gotta look who she's sitting right beside cutting these promos. And when she cut that promo about Total Divas, I don't care what anybody says.
Well, she did it right. It was actually the WWE creative team that wrote that. It was them who wrote that and handed it to AJ and be like, yeah, this is what you're going to say. I think that creative actually did something fucking genius for once.
Phoenix, hang on. I'm going to interject my knowledge here for a second. If that's what you want to say, and I agree with you if that's what you want to say, but if you're going to say that it's all WWE creative...
It wasn't all of them, but like they basically wrote the script for her to drop that pipe bomb.
These guys cut promos, and I mean, she definitely had a helping hand. CM Punk was definitely in her ear. You can't say that.
Oh yeah. You could look at the moves that she does. Like she does some of the same submission moves. Like her wrestling skills are kind of the same.
You say the moves, okay.
Well, not just the moves. Like her character is kind of reminds me of the Punk title reign.
Yes.
But basically, I don't know why you're disliking a female Punk when Punk's like one of your favorite superstars ever. Like a female Punk is basically like you would think it would be the dream diva for Hayes.
People compare her to Punk too much, and she has nothing.
Well, then you don't hate her. You hate the fact that people compare her to Punk.
And another thing, I don't hate her exactly. It's things she does that makes me hate her. And another thing, people are ragging on Cena, 5 moves of doom. Okay, well, AJ Lee has like 2 moves of doom.
Well, like everybody has that 5 moves of doom. I don't know why they keep calling it the Cena 5 moves of doom. Like Daniel Bryan has the same thing. Rock has the same. Like everybody has the same thing. Like everybody has like the kind of same thing.
She does the same. Like she hardly gets any offense in any match, and then all of a sudden.
Any match recently, like go rewatch the Caitlyn versus AJ matches. Like there was tons of offense in there. I think there's probably still the best Divas matches. They wanted to make her look weak. They wanted to make the other divas, the total divas, look strong for their fucking show so that they would go get more ratings on their show. So it isn't AJ's fault. It's WWE Creative's fault on that.
Oh, no.
Okay.
It is not WWE Creative's fault of why AJ Lee only uses like 2 or 3 moves in a one match.
Well, it isn't her that choreographs the matches. Like they choreograph the matches and then they improvise.
Natalia is a far better.
Oh yeah, in-ring competitor.
Natalia was slow fucking AJ Lee. Paige, Emma, Natalia.
Paige, Emma, Natalia, and even maybe like Naomi or Brie Bella are like top of the line like wrestlers, but that's just pure wrestlers. Like only some of them have like really mic skills. I don't think the Bella twins have good mic skills as face, but of course they have to be face because they're fucking dating the top faces of the company. I remember them as heels. Like they were like great diva heels.
They've been playing heel their whole career. like
yeah, but I actually found like the Divas like entertaining. Like I remember what Karma's retirement speech when she was talking about pregnant, and they were talking about her baby and how she's gonna have like a fat ugly mom. Like that just aggravated people. Like I think that was definitely like done heel. Like but like there's nothing really as entertaining as that like anymore. Like they can do in ring stuff better, but like their actual promos and mic skills as face just don't work, I find. But like maybe Natalia can work, but I think AJ Lee's the best talker, but like it's not just all her, it's definitely Punk giving her a helping hand. But I think that she's probably the best talker right now.
They're not married, but they're engaged now.
Yeah, or rumors say that she's engaged.
What should I say this week? And he she's not writing that shit down. He's telling her what to write down.
Well, like it wouldn't be 100%. It wouldn't be.
Now let's practice it.
It wouldn't be 100% Punk giving her all these lines and Punk doing all this work for her when she had stuff to worry about himself too. It would be him just helping, and then she would basically be getting the hang of it. Then she would just write it down herself. Because basically, what Punk does.
My largest point is that she has arguably
who does
the best promo guy ever.
Who does Brie Bella have to help her with promos? Daniel Bryan. Okay, that guy can hardly cut a promo for shit.
No, Daniel Bryan's actually very good at promos.
He's getting better,
he's getting better. He's not.
He's getting better, but.
He's getting better, but he's not wonderful on the mic. No.
Well, I think he's being face on the mic doesn't really work. Like when Daniel Bryan was a heel, he was amazing on the mic. Like watching him and like everybody just chanting yes when he would just say no. Like he was amazing on the mic. Like I think heel might actually just be easier for the fact that like I don't know.
Being heel is always easier on the mic because all you gotta do is go out there and talk shit.
Right now, it's too late now. He's the biggest face now. He's they're
not gonna turn heel. They're not gonna turn heel like that.
No.
Like.
When Daniel Bryan was dropping those promos against John Cena for SummerSlam, like those promos were fucking amazing. When they were having those like little confrontations, like go rewatch them if anybody forgets them. But yeah.
That was really before the Yes Movement. That was really before the Yes Movement became the Yes Movement, and it was more of I think they was trying to turn Cena heel, or not Cena. I think they was trying to turn Daniel Bryan heel.
I don't think so.
And then the Yes Movement just kind of came out because Daniel Bryan was saying what he was saying was heel words.
Well, it was basically just trash against John Cena, but that's what CM Punk did, and he still got cheered. It was just basically basically just trashing Cena.
Yeah, but you can't compare anybody to Punk when it comes to.
Yeah, you can't compare Punk's promo on.
No, you can't.
June whatever date it was to Daniel Bryan's promo.
Yeah, I mean when you're on the mic, you have Punk, Ambrose, Wyatt. Other than those three guys, who can really cut a promo like those three? I mean,
well, John Cena is very good at promos. Like I'm not really much of a Cena guy, but when he's good at promos.
No, John Cena isn't good at promos at all. All he does is cut a bunch of jokes, and then when shit gets serious, he's like.
Well, I think he's good at like off script stuff. Like most of what he says is off script. Like he's. I don't know, like I find them entertaining, but it is mostly just jokes, but they're entertaining, and it does, pummel the match.
Yeah, it's
all right. Well, anyway, let's move on.
We were talking about the Divas match, and then we started talking about shit.
Naomi tap out, and that pissed me the fuck off. And you're gonna disagree with me, but I know I'm right, so.
Yeah. Well then, you're right in your world. Okay.
You watch the match over. We can stick on this longer. I'm not letting this one go like I did.
Okay. I will. Okay, fans, go rewatch it. Like she tapped out with both hands. I know.
No, she didn't.
I did. I know for a fact. No, okay. Let's stop talking about this. Okay, the match itself, crowd was very dull. Wasn't the best match, but there was some cool moments like the Bella Twins going going full dive out.
Because the match before. Horrible time for the match before.
Oh, yes. Oh, dude, I will totally agree with that. The match timing, that match should have been before the fucking Brock.
The only match that should have been after the Taker match was the main event. That's just because Daniel Bryan's in it. So of course, Daniel Bryan comes out, everybody else suddenly forgets the streak ended, and everybody's just like, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So,
but I think that it was, I don't know, it was kind of well done. There was just kind of a dull crowd. Like I like the little Bella Twins diving thing. I liked how Natalya went for the like 3 diva sharpshooter. She didn't really get it in, and then Eva Marie did like a roll up or something on her. But
Eva Marie tried to go toe to toe with me.
It was just basically a very chaotic match. I'll give it like a 6 out of 10.
Like one of our other admins, James G, he was like, the Divas match will be meh. And I was like, you take that back, you'll forever be scorned. And he was like, okay, I take it back. I was like, Eva Marie will be meh.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so I give the match 6 out of 10. It wasn't too bad, but I don't know, maybe it's just like the timing of the match and the crowd was completely out of it. And
I give the match a 9.
Good God. You gave the Battle Memorial and like the fucking John and Bray match.
I'm at 8 because I like the match, and I'm just taking the crowd factor out because WWE is the one that fucked up the match.
If you take the crowd factor out, I give it like a 7.5.
I'm gonna give it an 8, but I'm not even gonna include the crowd in this one because WWE screwed up on that. It was WWE's fault.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you give it, Mike?
For me, I'm going to give it a 7. The match was okay. I think it had its ups and downs. It was not a great moment, but the match time placement was awful. I think that where they placed it right after Undertaker versus Brock was just like people were still in shock.
Yeah.
You know, they saw
I didn't believe what I saw. Like I went to go like fucking call all my friends that I knew after that match.
Yeah. So,
I remember there was like people leaving the theater and they were just like in shock and they were going to the bathroom and like just seeing the faces on everybody was completely like holy shit.
Yeah. I give the match a 7. I think it could have been much better, but the time placement was awful.
That's another thing that makes me think that the streak was supposed to continue. Because why would they have it end when there's still 2 matches to come?
That's a good point, but then you could also just go back to the shock factor thing. Like
moving on to the main event, though, because I mean, we don't want to get stuck on the streak match again for another hour.
I think we were on that Divas match for a while, too. But anyways, going back to the main event, since Daniel Bryan won, he is added to the triple threat match with Randy Orton Batista. There's nothing really special about his entrance, but I wanted to talk about, like, I don't think we should give this a score, but I wanted to talk about Randy Orton, I don't know what band it's called, but the band who played. Yeah, I loved how they came out and played. Like, it was pretty awesome.
They were awesome. They were awesome. Well, actually, the Wyatt family, their
band
was there too. That was their band. It was a live, well, not their band, but the guy that does their song. That was awesome too. So but I think that Rev Theory did an awesome job.
Yeah, I think it was an awesome job. Yeah. Okay, so
the only thing that I didn't like about the live ones was the music wasn't as loud as what the ones that was coming through the speakers was. Like I think they should have cranked the volume up on their stuff a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but okay, let's get on to the match. I think this was match of the night. I think most people probably think that. Very well. Yeah, very well done. Probably the best ending to any match also. But it was very well done. Had a lot of moments where, like, it made you think that, like, it might end here. Like, I remember when, this was just a random point in the match. Batista went to go spear Randy. Randy jumped over him, like, ended up kind of spearing Daniel Bryan's head out of the ring. And then Randy Orton hit an RKO. I thought it was over there. 1-2 kick out, thank God. And there was also another moment where it made Batista look like he was going to win. I think, like, Randy Orton got running knee. So I don't know. I forget exactly what happened. And then he got, like, Batista bombed, and it made him look.
On in the match, but Triple H and Stephanie McMahon came out.
Yeah. And when that came out and he went on the stretcher, of course everybody kind of knew that he was gonna end up coming back, but it was just so awesome to see him I'm not getting out of this match. I will win this title, and it just made him look like the ultimate. It made it look like the ultimate comeback story.
Well, you're kind of missing in there, like, how Triple H got the sledgehammer when Daniel Bryan still kicked out and then knocked the crooked ref out.
Yeah.
Quoting Michael Cole with the crooked ref thing, like, so Triple H is like, fuck it, I'm gonna take matters into my own hands, and he got a sledgehammer, and Daniel Bryan, he like kicked him or something and took the sledgehammer from him, and then I think he hit Triple H with it. I was kind of too busy yesing around the house at that point in time.
Yeah. He kicked Triple H and grabbed the sledgehammer, and then he ended up sledgehammering down. But it also looked like it was gonna end when Batista bombed, and then they got that crooked ref out, and then like Triple H, and then I'm like, no, don't end it like this.
And then I don't know what happened after he hit Triple H with the sledgehammer, or before, like after he picked the sledgehammer up. But the next thing I hear is like the odds were stacked against Bryan the whole time. And I look over and Randy Orton and Batista like right there getting along, like beating up Daniel Bryan. Like they start, like Batista gets on the American announce table with Daniel Bryan, and then Orton gets on the middle Spanish one, and like Batista bombs Bryan, and Orton
does like a jumping RKO.
What he did was Batista bomb into an RKO
through the table. Like it looked extremely epic.
They planned it though.
Yeah.
And then Bryan's hurt, and I'm like, okay, how's Bryan hurt? He landed on the table. Orton landed on a monitor. No way Bryan is hurt. So, like, my brother is sitting beside me this whole time, like, no, please don't be hurt and stuff. I'm like, Joe, it's a work, yo. There's no way he's actually hurt. He landed perfectly fine on his back. Orton landed on a monitor. Right. And I'm thinking, okay, so Daniel Bryan's going to get, like, to the ramp or halfway up the ramp, somewhere in there. And, like,
I thought it was going to be halfway up the ramp, and then he was just going to, then I thought he was going to do that little pump-up, like, kind of Hulkamania thing that he does, and then, like, somebody's going to come, and then he'll just, like, running to eat him or something like that.
Yeah, he did it sooner than, I thought they was going to take him completely out. And then, like, Daniel Bryan, like, it showed backstage, like, Daniel Bryan, like, breaking off his neck brace and, like, come, like, hobbling back out on one leg.
Right. I could kind of image something like that, but I think this was, like, definitely match of the night. It was fast-paced straight off the get-go, which I loved.
And then there was a few moments after when Daniel Bryan got back in the match, I thought Batista was still going to win, because, like...
Yeah.
Well, he was nailing him.
And then Randy Orton hit an RKO on Batista. I forget what happened to Bryan.
He got speared out of the ring from Batista, and then Batista turned around, and then RKO right dead middle of the ring.
Like, oh, match is over.
Yeah, like there was so much like very close moments in there that just made you think twice. I would have been okay
with that match ending without Bryan winning.
I would be fine with it. Like I wouldn't give the match as high as a score or anything like that if he didn't win, but if like Randy won, I would have been fine with it.
Yeah, like if Randy as long as Batista didn't win, I didn't care, because at least Randy's there every week and he never left.
Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan would have had a legitimate reason in it, but then it would have kept the rivalry between Triple H and him going on, and like we're all quite frankly tired of seeing that. It's been 9 months. I'm tired of seeing it. But and then I forget how, like you was telling me earlier, Phoenix, how I think you said Batista bombed Orton, and then Bryan hit a running knee.
Yeah.
And Batista. I was like, and like Bryan hit a running knee when Orton was going for a punt kick. I'm just like, you dumb ass motherfucker. Let him hit the punt kick, and then you do what you need to do.
Yeah.
That's what I would do, and like. When the match started, Daniel Bryan's like going hard at it.
And it also looked very close when he got that yes lock into Batista, and then Randy broke. Into Randy, and Batista broke it. Then he got it into Batista, and then Randy ended up breaking it. But I loved how Batista ended up tapping at the end, and very well done. Match of the night, probably match of the year so far. And
like I don't know how you guys all felt, but I like. It was like almost like this moment was just as much mine as it was Daniel Bryan. Like
yeah,
it's like
I was yesing nearly that like entire fucking match. I
had to just kind of lay down and just let it sink in for a minute. Like I almost wanted to cry. It was that overwhelming. Like
it was awesome because
like whoa.
Yeah.
And then just to see because, he's just as passionate as John Cena or CM Punk about the industry. And to see the culmination of everything, he's actually going to get a title run. it was just.
See now, my
speechless.
The biggest problem is that match was awesome. I give that match a 9.5 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10.
I would honestly like. I don't like to use a 10, but I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because it's match of the year so far. They did everything that they tried to do like perfectly. It honestly had me scream at the fucking theater so much, and like it might have been just the crowd with it. But
my only problem is now. Okay, he's beaten the Authority. He's beaten Triple H. He's beaten Randy Orton clean how many times now?
Yeah, and Randy Orton and him supposed to feud for the title, and I'm like, okay, Randy Orton has never.
Who's going to be Daniel Bryan's main guy now? Like, who's going to be the guy that goes up against him?
I know at Extreme Rules it's going to be Daniel Bryan versus Randy because Randy has his rematch clause.
Right.
So that should be a good match. I always like Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton facing one-on-one. It's very good.
It's not that it's not like it's a bad combination because they're actually two good okay, Randy Orton might not be he might not be the greatest wrestler, but he's one of the most talented if he just apply himself.
I think that I don't know, he's one hell of a wrestler. Like I want to put him up with like Seth Rollins or like Punk or anything like that.
He's a good wrestler. It's just his character is stale.
Yes.
Yeah. His character is stale, but like his wrestling skills are very good.
But it's. I'm just tired of the Bryan Orton rivalry. Like, okay, it's been 4 or 5 months since we've seen it, but I still think we need a little bit of time. Like, Orton versus Cena, that was like a period of time where it was like 4 months in a row they fought for the same.
Well, they faced nine times, I believe. I was a fan of like the Orton Cena rivalry at first. I don't like I think their last match should have been at TLC. I mean, I think that should have been the last match. I think that it would have been right. But then they had them rematch at Royal Rumble, which I didn't think was right at all.
Because the loser still has the rematch clause in his contract, so.
Right.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Whether the titles got unified or not, it's still a rematch clause for the title.
Yeah.
So.
But it ended up being Stephanie McMahon making the match, and it wasn't John Cena. Like, yeah, I'm gonna use my rematch clause here. It was basically like Stephanie McMahon's like, yeah, I announced John Cena versus Randy. Like,
well, yeah, because you gotta think that at that point in time, the Authority was like, oh, Orton, he's not the Orton we thought he was. So we're like, they kind of changed faith in him.
Right.
Yeah. And
They kind of went from being like, oh, he's the guy that's going to lead the company to.
They just recently got their faith back in him when Batista turned heel because everybody wanted Batista back, so they're like, oh, boom, Batista's going to be our guy at WrestleMania, and then people started booing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So WWE had to rewrite their plans because they thought that we're stupid as hell and.
We gotta switch it now.
We wanted Batista to win the Rumble.
You both do understand this, though. In Batista's contract, he signed for 2 years, which you give him a lot of credit for. He didn't pull like a Brock Lesnar where he's like, oh, I'm back for
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah. I give him more credit than Brock Lesnar, but honestly, I find. Okay.
He's gonna win the championship somewhere.
Well, yeah, he's a top star in the company, whether he left for 3.5 years or not.
I don't want to see him lose it to Daniel Bryan at I don't want to see Batista beat Daniel Bryan at Survivor Series or fucking SummerSlam. That would just
I would rather him lose it at a smaller pay-per-view, maybe I don't know.
I think honestly Daniel Bryan, how this was supposed to be Summer of Punk. Well, I think it's going to be a Summer of Bryan. I think they changed their plans, and Bryan's going to hold on to the title for 5 or 6, 7, 8 months.
For a while.
And then lose it. I think he'll hold on to the title from anywhere from 5 to 8 months.
I could see him holding on to it until Survivor Series.
I could see him holding on to it till the Royal Rumble even. To go as far as
maybe.
That's 9 pay-per-views, you got to keep in mind.
Yeah, well...
Yeah,
that's 9 titles expensive.
Series tops. I think Survivor Series, he's going to hold on to it to Survivor Series, and then...
Survivor Series tops.
Yeah, I mean...
A man I would actually be really fine with, and I would actually kind of like to see, maybe not yet, but see him drop it to Cesaro. I want to see Cesaro fucking champion.
I think Cesaro, like, I like Cesaro and all, but I don't. That's why I want to see two main titles and the roster be split up on Raw and SmackDown again.
Yeah.
Because because I don't think I think Cesaro's good and all, but I don't think he's at the point in his career where he should be WWE.
Well, think of it. He just won the first ever Andre the Giant Battle Memorial, and they were talking about like how big that's gonna mean for them. So I think and Cesaro was just in the Elimination Chamber title match, arguably one of the best wrestlers in there.
Cesaro's gonna get a huge push.
Yeah, Cesaro's getting a huge push. I don't think that
if they hadn't been for CM Punk quitting.
I think that the thing that should happen, he win Money in the Bank, or him winning like Royal Rumble or something, and then end up winning the title. But yeah, actually, Money in the Bank would be perfect. That would be the perfect moment.
I'm gonna say something. I know that you guys don't love Roman Reigns.
I don't like him.
I'm a Roman Reigns fan.
But Reigns is going to get his push. Reigns, his push is coming, whether you love it or not.
Well, as we said that we're probably going to see them as a team until like Survivor Series is before we were talking about it.
Reigns is going to get his fucking shot. He's going to get his run.
But I don't think that he's going to be like champion until then. I can image them breaking up at Survivor Series and Roman Reigns winning the Rumble. I can imagine that. I don't imagine any of them winning like Money in the Bank or anything like that.
As soon as I saw the new shirt on the Shield, I was like, yeah, they're not breaking up for a while because they're not going to market all that.
Yeah, for one night.
Oh, no. I'm not saying it's going to be like next week or next,
Yeah, I don't think they're going to break up till Survivor Series. Survivor Series or SummerSlam.
But Reigns is going to get his push. And
his push is just delayed a little bit.
Delayed for a while. Delayed until the Shield breaks up, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the original reason the Shield was going to break up. And, I don't think we talked about, me and Phoenix talked to you about this, Mike, but when Reigns was voted to fight Kane on Raw, me and Phoenix was so pissed about it because nobody wants to see... Oh, well, obviously 80% of the WWE Universe wants to see him.
I want to see Ambrose versus fucking...
Yeah, same here.
Rollins versus Kane, because those two are the best wrestlers out of the group.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Hayes, have I not told you? I've told you this, too. I've told both of you. Rollins is the best wrestler. Ambrose is the best talker. And
Reigns is the most overrated.
He's the power guy.
Reigns is just the best guy that's there.
Reigns is the guy that they want to be the best, but he isn't.
Right.
Yeah, that's why they're pushing him so hard. They're like, okay.
And apparently it is working for a lot of fans, but like...
Well, he's also cousins with guess who? So
The Rock. Oh.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, just because Rollins and and Ambrose are smaller guys, don't mean that you have to not give them credit where it's due.
I don't think it's just the small factor. I think it also has a factor with the whole cousin thing. And
that and the fucking chicks love Roman Reigns is like another Dean
Ambrose. I know Dean Ambrose is a massive ladies man. Like,
the women love Roman Reigns. They're
I'm not gay or anything, but to me, Rollins and Ambrose are pretty attractive dudes too. So,
I know that. I know that
guys over Reigns.
I don't know. I watch a lot of Dean Ambrose and I just watch a whole lot of WWE tribute videos in general. But I was watching some WWE ones, and there were like girls go crazy over fucking Ambrose. I don't really see that much girls go crazy over Rollins. I do know that they think that he's attractive, but
there's a few.
Yeah.
That,
but compared to Ambrose and Reigns,
people just because Reigns has a sleeve, right? Okay, and tattoos are kind of in style when it comes to
and not only that, he's got the long hair.
He has a Samoan look, he's that. Yeah, and most Samoans, I don't know if you noticed this, but most Samoans are more closer to the attractive side. Like now there's
Right.
some like Kishi that are ugly as fuck.
yeah.
But that takes like, because Samoans are kind of that's just why he gets more attention than anybody else. Ambrose is white, Rollins is Armenian, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're getting really off topic here.
Yes.
Okay, so, I don't think we got Hayes. What was your score for the final match, the main event?
I'm gonna give it a 10, even though I don't like 10, just because of who was in it, how
And
he
how it
won,
was, yeah.
and the sentimental value,
Yeah.
and how the crowd was into
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I gave it a 10 also. And Mike, what was
Oh,
yours?
and another thing I gotta say before.
10 all the way. I'm gonna give it a 10 because it finally solidified what everybody's wanted to see. Everybody's wanted to see, that Daniel Bryan is the guy. He's the future. Even CM Punk in his last, I think he did it at it was a Comic-Con or something, but he was like, this should be Daniel Bryan's year.
Yeah.
And it is. It is Daniel Bryan's year. Let Daniel Bryan run. I love Daniel Bryan. I think he's got the talent. He's an amazing athlete. And, yeah, I give it a 10, easily a 10 out of 10. Easily.
Okay.
Another thing I got to say about the match is a few times during the match, I don't know if you guys noticed, like when Triple H first came out and then after the Batista bomb / RKO through the table, CM Punk chants were going wild both of those times. Because CM Punk is established as the anti-authority guy.
The only time I heard the CM Punk chants were in the pre-show a lot. I actually didn't really hear CM Punk chants at all during the night that I can at least remember of.
Yeah, they was going on all over during that match. Like after Triple H got involved.
Yeah.
Okay, I must have just missed that then. Well, let's give a score for the whole WrestleMania. Now, I don't think all of it was perfect. I do like it, and when I look at it, it does have a ton of WrestleMania moments. Definitely a lot more than last year's. I don't really remember when you look back at last year's, there wasn't too much big, huge moments.
Right.
I'm
gonna give the overall pay-per-view. Because we kind of just gave our overall thoughts on the main event, so we really don't need to do that. But I'm going to give it the overall score an 8 out of 10, just because of the crowd was dull as fuck. I
think that was mostly a good crowd, but it was dull as fuck during the Undertaker Lesnar match, the Divas match, but that was because Taker ended up losing the streak and people still couldn't believe that. And was there another match that they were dull? I guess the Shield and New Age Outlaws and Kane match, they were dull.
Yeah.
The crowd, it's not so much that they was dull. They was only dull for a few matches, but when they went dull,
they went dull. Yeah.
It was crazy. You could hear someone drinking out of their pop or drinking out of their cup, drinking through a straw. That's how dull it was. So that's what I mean by dull. And
I'm gonna give the night. I'll give it an 8.5, or I'll give it an 8.8. I'll go switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give it an 8.
Okay. And Mike, what are you with?
I'm gonna go with an 8.5. It was.
I think it was a lot better than last year's Mania in the past few years.
I mean, I think it was a good Mania in certain moments. And I'm kind of bipartisan. And I will be honest about that. I was totally pulling for fucking Bryan in the championship match. So I will admit, when he won, it definitely did sway my vote from a 7.5 an 8.5.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say it was a 3 or 4.
Now, what would your score be if Taker didn't lose the streak?
Well, if Daniel Bryan lost.
No. If every match stayed the same, but Taker defended the streak actually well and perfect.
I'd make it a 9.
Yeah.
But now if Taker won, and Daniel Bryan lost, it'd sway it to a 5. But if Daniel Bryan lost
5.
and Taker still
Good
lost,
God.
it'd be a 3. It'd be straight up 3.
Oh well, yeah, no, I wouldn't go quite that drastic.
I wouldn't go that drastic at all. I would still give the pay-per-view around the same score, and like let's say if like Orton won, but like let's say if it was done right, like as long as it wasn't a shitty ending and it was actually done right, I wouldn't really change the score too much. But
right.
I was still hoping for Bryan. But if Taker won and everything stayed the same, I would probably give it a 9. But Taker losing the streak still had a lot of shock factor and definitely will give a WrestleMania. Like, if Taker won, it would really have, like, 0 WrestleMania moments from that match. Which is why I say that.
WrestleMania moments are supposed to be good moments, though.
Well, like, there are a lot of bad WrestleMania moments. Like, think of the Shawn and Razor Ramon match. Like, Razor Ramon ended up winning. But that wasn't really...
Yeah, but everybody loved Razor Ramon.
Well, not then. Then people hated him. Because people were supposed to hate him because he was a heel.
Yeah, like Cesaro was a heel up until tonight when he did what he did to Swagger. Like, now he's full on face, and so us cheering him kind of makes sense.
I'm gonna tell you right now that there are like 2 huge moments in my mind that save this whole pay-per-view.
Brian.
Cesaro going over. Cesaro, you know, he won the 100th battle royal, and when Daniel Bryan won the championship. If Cesaro had not won that and Daniel Bryan had lost, even if Taker had won, it would still be maybe a 7 to me.
Yeah. Maybe I would say 6.5 or 7 around there if that happened.
Yeah. But you throw Cesaro and you throw Daniel Bryan in there, I give it an 8.5.
Yeah. I think those 2 moments definitely changed it like drastically. Yeah. Especially considering that we didn't think Cesaro would be there. And ever notice that no one really mentioned that Cesaro was in 2 matches that night?
Right.
Yeah, he was in 2 matches. Like, it was pretty good. I liked it. Made them both look good. And yeah.
Yeah, but like neither match that he was in was really that physical.
Well, Cesaro gave. Well, yeah, not like Daniel Bryan.
I actually, if you watch that tag team match, he gave the Usos some fucking uppercuts. Like
he gave a lot of people a lot of uppercuts. Like even in that Battle Royal.
And then when he slammed the Big Show clean.
Like that was that moment. Like I will never forget.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing is before we actually stop our little podcast. When Triple H did what he did to Daniel Bryan's arm, like at first I thought he was going to do what he did to his head again, but then he did to his arm. I was like, well, fuck this shit. He don't need his arm to do a running knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's running them.
Yeah.
So
it's not like he's doing a running elbow.
So all of our final scores. Hayes, you're an 8. Mike, you're an 8.5, and I'm an 8.8. So that's our final thoughts of the pay-per-view. Solid pay-per-view. Definitely a good Mania. Better than a lot. Definitely ended the night right. Just the Taker Lesnar thing was very controversial and will probably stay controversial for a very long time to come.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you all for tuning in for this basically like fucking 2-hour video. If you stayed in through the whole thing, thank you. Congratulate yourself. Pat yourself on the back.
Oh yeah, tweet Emma for me.
Yeah, if you made it through we'll be checking out who made it through the video by who tweeted Emma for Hayes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just say that Hayes sent you there or something.
If we don't get at least 1,000 views, we're deleting our page.
No.
We're not going that drastic.
Mike, we gotta give our fans some incentive to watch the whole video.
I know. I feel you.
I don't know. I'm gonna end up putting like fucking time things down at the bottom, probably. So yeah, for each different part. We probably talked about that fucking Taker match for at least like 40 minutes or so.
I could go on for another hour and a half over that match.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 8.5, 8.8, solid pay per view. Definitely a great Mania. Hopefully, yeah. I don't know. It was very good. Yeah, tweet Emma for Hayes. We love you all.
Tweet Emma.
Yeah. We love you.